Okay, so another of the questions I got was, should I decrease my calories? Should I decrease my carbs right down with summer coming up? Okay, there's two approaches really. Okay, so when it comes to fat loss and dropping weight, you can go for a more, like, let's say, passive and progressive approach, or you can go a bit more radical and just go a bit harder with your calorie deficit and how much of your calories you drop. Okay, and that's gonna depend in a couple of things. Depends on you as an individual. Okay, and how much muscle mass have you got, and also what time frame you have to drop that body fat. Okay, but most of the time, I prefer to progressively decrease those calories. Okay, so rather than just dropping all your carbohydrates straight away, okay, and then just hitting a plateau in a couple of weeks, you want to progressively drop them down a little bit. Okay, maybe 10 grams, 20 grams every 10 days and so on. Okay, and then every time your weight stop dropping, okay, then just decrease them a little bit more. Okay. One thing you gotta keep in mind is, for some people, they're not gonna have the motivation, they're not gonna have the discipline to stick to a diet for a 15, 20 weeks period of time. Okay, which is very happens very often with a lot of clients. Okay, so for that person, it's probably actually better, instead of taking just such a slow approach and then dropping out of the diet and not seeing any progress at all and giving up, to be like, right, okay, you have, let's make the next 4, 5, 6 weeks, okay, a lot stronger approach. Let's drop those calories right down. Okay, let's see a weight drop. Okay, because that's when you have the most motivation to actually train hard, to actually stick to your diet, and then you have a limited amount of time, okay, with that person, with that client. Okay, and I see that very often. So that is one of the only few times when I will actually drop someone's calories by a lot more in a short period of time. It's because I know their motivation is just not gonna last that as long as they need them to be. So that way, yes, we're dropping their calories really quickly, quite a lot, but they are gonna make some progress in that period of time. Okay, once they drop that weight, then it's important to start reversing their diet. Okay, and progressively start increase a little bit their calories, and because otherwise they're gonna drop the weight and they're just gonna regain it back down, and that's not something that you want neither. Just to summarize the answer, it really depends on what kind of person you are. Okay, if you get enough time and you're a disciplined person that can stick to a diet and to the training program for over a period of time, then definitely take your time, progressively take your time and decrease your carbohydrates. If you have a short time frame, or if you know as a person that your motivation doesn't last too long, then take a stronger approach. Drop your calories a lot faster and drop your carbohydrates a lot faster. But do be careful when you go back to normal calories. Okay, make sure you do that progressively, otherwise you're gonna add body fat and end up in a worse position. Okay, I hope this answers your questions. Any other questions you may have, just write them in the comments or send me an email, and I look forward to helping you all.